What's up, everybody? I'm very excited to get into all the spoilers, crazy spoilers for episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Do me a favor. Smash that like button. Give it a smash. We'll be live very shortly. See you soon. Obviously, spoiler warning. Big ol' spoiler warning. But I want to know right off the bat, right from Jump Street, as it were. How do you guys feel about the episode? On a scale from 1 to 10, put a number into the chat. Where do you rate episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Let it be known. Speak your truth. This is a safe place. Damn. Very high marks. Very high marks from what I can see. Cool. I have to adjust all of my notes real quick because I didn't anticipate everybody liked the episode this much, so give me like 30 seconds. Ain't I a stinker? Ain't I a stinker? My poor mother. Alright, let's get her going. What is up, everybody? Welcome, one and all, to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. We're talking Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 5. Spoilers, full-on spoilers, going full-on into all the spoilers. Spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the episode and you care about the integrity of all of the big secrets, you shouldn't be watching this stream. That's kind of what I'm saying. That's the whole point of what I just said for the last 5 or so seconds. Please get out of here if you haven't seen the episode. So we're going to get into that. I know there's a lot of things to talk about, to get into with regards to this episode. It's a very emotional episode. So here's what's weird. I'll just put it right out there. I actually really like this episode, which I know is ironic considering that I had so many problems with episode 4, because I really don't like episode 4. Many of you probably like episode 4 more than episode 5. Many of you probably feel that episode 4 had more action than episode 5. Many of you are probably like, what is going on? Is Josh just looking out on the internet, picking the popular opinion out there, and subverting that? No. There are reasons. There are things I want to get into with regards to this episode that I think do make it very special. However, I want to be absolutely fair and throw a bone to the people that are just looking around saying, what is happening? Because frankly, this is 5 hours plus of content. And in some ways, I feel like the show just started. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great character stuff in the show. What I can't personally decide is, was the show advertised and promoted in a way that led people to believe it was more of a buddy cop action film? And frankly, it just is not that at all. I think if you're feeling that way, how could I look a person in the face that said that to me and be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're a hater. No, I'd be like, yeah, I kind of definitely was waiting the whole time for ninjas to come out of a portal and just so that there could be some fighting. Honestly, that's totally a joke. But frankly, that's something that I would tell to people, in their scripts. If somebody handed me a script for a comic that was just dialogue and exposition and moments like that, I'd be like, okay, but in the middle of this scene where they're talking, portals are going to open, ninjas are going to come in, they're going to fight off the ninjas. They'll continue and they will resolve that issue, but I'll be damned if I'm going to make, whoever the artist is, draw faces for 20 pages. You know what I mean? So, that's totally fair. You know what I mean? That's a fair place to be at as a fan, particularly of a fan of Marvel Comics. You know what I mean? Marvel did, in some ways, sort of brand themselves as the comic house that was going to take more time, that was going to really delve into issues, that was going to be more soap opera-like. This definitely was a thing for Marvel, so I'm aware of that as well, for those of you out there that are like, but that's what makes Marvel Marvel. In some ways, I agree. But I also think that it's totally fair for people to feel the opposite way. So, let's get into it. Enough of that blah, 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 blah. I think one of the main reasons that I like this episode so much, and so much more than episode 4, is because the beginning, which let's just call it what it is. I got the beginning wrong. There were several things I got wrong in this episode. What the heck's happening? Oh yeah, this is when I was actually supposed to wake up. The city knocked on my door very early in the morning today and woke me up before I was ready. They needed to inspect something about the house. Too much power coming from the NerdVengers. Anyways, so why does this episode work for me so much more? I think it really starts with the beginning action sequence. Not only is it awesome, and it was awesome, well choreographed, well written, well acted. Damn, you know what I mean? They all brought it in that scene. But I think one of the reasons it works so well is because it's really like a culmination of a lot of development. Like, it sort of crystallizes the conflict that has been non-physical, that has been sort of undertones, kind of I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's more like you get all of that stuff crystallized, focused, and actually like made physical. You know what I mean? It's literally the some of the points of the show are being like played out in a physical sense. It was very cool. I do want to say too that in this episode I was really sold by Anthony Mackie and Anthony Mackie's performance. I've been critical of his performance in a couple of different moments throughout the show. I think simply because Sebastian Stan's performance has been so much more enjoyable to watch. Like, frankly, he's more interesting to watch. More facial expressions, more brokenness, more range, more all this. Sam has been actually pretty well put together the entire time, but I've sort of come to understand that that is the point. And there are moments in this episode, especially in the conversations that he has with Bradley, that you really see the strain on Sam, but you also see that strain is sort of hanging on the frame of just like an iron will. You know what I mean? Like a special kind of person. Like Sam's a special kind of person. I've said this before. You know, he's very much like Steve in that way. There was a moment in this episode where Zemo, who again, incredible. There was a moment in this episode where Zemo says, you know, Sam's hopeless. He's as stubborn as Steve Rogers before him. Bro, if that ain't the most backhanded compliment that you could ever get from as a writer, that's some juicy shit, because that's like a villain who despised but also must have found some respect in the character of Steve Rogers, sort of giving his blessing. You know what I mean? In a sense, it reminded me a lot of almost some like an Incredibles shit, or not Incredibles. There's something like the Incredibles where they get the Monarch from Venture Bros, where they have the nemesis relationship. I don't know if you're familiar with that show, but it sort of reminded me of like a thing like that. Like in a sense, Zemo was as the nemesis saying like, I approve of Sam as the new Captain America. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool. So the fight is dope, and Sam's performance or rather Mackie's performance is great. Sam as a character is literally, this is like where he shines. I think the brilliance of the writing here is that Sam's quality as a soldier and being able to meet a soldier, and cut through the trauma and meet them as a human being and try to help. Like because he has such empathy for soldiers and war and basically the cost of duty, he's able to really connect with these people. So what was so fascinating was his skill set and the way that Steve saw the like that iron will and that great quality that Sam's a super awesome human being. It's just such a cool callback to where we first see that with Sam talking to the vets, right? So he's talking to John, and he's like, he's really and truly trying to talk him down, man. And it's working. Like, you can kind of see it getting to John, and he's like kind of letting his guard down, you know? And then, like, obviously that doesn't work, and, you know, he snaps and all of that. But it's an incredible scene. It puts a lot of different things just kind of out there, getting hammered out physically. Yeah, so I thought that scene was freaking-tastic. You know what I mean? And especially, like, the end where Bucky just, like, throws the shield down, like, towards Sam and then just walks out. Like, that show was pretty cool. So, we basically... I think a lot of the episode works for me because it's really anchored by that fight. And the fight, while not maybe taking up a lot of real estate as far as time is concerned, is so impactful that I think it's just clearly still hanging over the heads of a lot of the characters. I also think it's a great choice that Sam goes on a little kind of side quest thing and really tries to break ground with Bradley alone. There's something about Mackie alone going back to Baltimore, just with the shield, kind of like just really sorting stuff out for himself, that really works. You know what I mean? It really, really works. And, you know, honestly, thank God we got more Lumbly. Because this dude, the acting in this scene is incredible. The nuance, the range, the subtle, it's like a masterclass, man. Like, it literally is a masterclass of physical performance. You know what I mean? These two dudes. I found the scene to be incredibly captivating. You know what I mean? Incredibly raw, incredibly powerful. You're dealing with very sensitive issues. And by the way, I think issues, you know, to the credit of the whole team over there, issues that I think are really being handled well. You know, look, we live in this crazy, you know, downwind of the culture war world. Everything gets categorized and you know, everybody wants to distill it to decide whether to basically smash like or smash dislike, right? Everybody wants to just funnel things through, you know, a very binary lens, you know, that kind of thing. And this show is dealing with some very, very important and also significant issues in a really nuanced way. Like, you essentially have Sam sort of being this rock type character that, while fully understanding like the trauma that Bradley has gone through, also sort of maybe waking up to the reality of that, like, he's not Bradley. You know what I mean? And Bradley can't tell him how to be who he thinks he needs to be. And it's the same thing with Steve. He says it later in the episode. It's really interesting. He said, this may surprise you, but it doesn't matter what Steve thought. And I've been waiting personally for that moment. I have been waiting for that moment for the character of Sam, because I think what Steve understood, but Sam perhaps did not initially, was that, like, Steve really wasn't passing the legacy of Steve Rogers on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't really trying to do that. So, like, when Sam says, I feel like it belongs to someone else, Steve was like, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. But that's a hard thing to sort of come to. You know what I mean? Especially when you really respect or love a person. You know what I mean? And this is something that, like, you know, take it out of like a mentor-mentee type of thing. I think in some ways, people can't even do this with their own parents. You know what I mean? Like, some people can't even, like, understand that, like, though their parents may have the best intentions and they love them so much that it doesn't really matter what they think or want for you, in the sense that it is your life. You have to step up into that role. You know what I mean? There was, like, really cool, powerful stuff happening for the character of Sam Wilson in this episode, and I felt like Mackie's performance was just great. Okay, it was great. So that issue, and by the way, I do want to say that for the sake of these issues and the sake of the conversation and content in general, I am going to be sitting down with Al and Lavis. They're two of my favorite human beings on the planet. They also happen to be a couple of the most awesome brothers that I know. And I mean that like they're my brothers from another mother. They also happen to be brothers. So we're going to sit down, do a stream tomorrow in the afternoon talking about all of these different subjects. I want their perspective. I'm going to give my perspective. We're going to get your perspective. We're going to talk about these issues. It's going to be a good time. It might get heavy. It might get deep. But we're going to do it. And, you know, honestly, on that note, I do think it's worth mentioning that as good and as well handled as I think a lot of these particular issues and things were handled in the episode, it is also totally fair to say that there's other things that are not being like handled as well. And it feels like it feels like in some ways, if the show did suffer from, let's say, reshoots, let's say time crunch, let's say maybe just some suits coming in, you know what I mean? Maybe some suits coming in. It feels like the integrity of what was the most important elements to Spellman and to the team were kept intact. I feel like that's good. But I think there could be some people that interpret that as, man, like one thing was put above the other. You know what I mean? That's fair. I think that's fair. Your mileage may vary on how you feel about that. But I do think it's fair to bring up. You know what I mean? Again, for me, it works. It works for me. I do wish some ninjas popped out. I'm not going to lie to you. I do wish some ninjas popped out and we got some more ass kicking. 100%. But I felt like the episode was real good. Real good. So, now let's talk about everybody's largest disappointment. Old man Steve Rogers, played by Uma Thurman, did not show up in the episode. Okay, so let's talk about the episode 5 cameo, the big massive disappointment. Remember when Malcom Spellman said it's the episode 5 character, and that character's going to make you cry? Well, if you remember that, you're lying, because he never actually said that. And my point is that in this weird internet game of telephone, many things about this episode and about this show were taken completely out of context. It's so crazy to me what happened with this episode 5 cameo and the buzz around it and the interpretation around it. And I saw so much sloppy journalism from people 10 times as large as I in the independent space and from way more established junkets and outlets. Because nobody gives a shit about doing their due diligence anymore. They only care about being first, being hyped, getting clicks, creating buzz. It is what it is. But personally, for me, what we tried to do here was curb expectations and make people believe that that particular cameo that was being discussed was not going to be as big of a deal as everybody was making it out to be. But we did also put old man Steve Rogers all over the place on thumbnails and things on Twitter. And I want to sort of explain that because I'm not fucking sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay? Because here's the thing. As a Marvel Comics fan, it just makes sense that old man Steve would be in this show. Okay? I can't remove the fanboy part of me that as a comics fan is just going to want and expect these certain things. And frankly, I don't feel like I should. I don't feel like I should, and I don't feel like I should have to. And I feel like it's okay to be like, man, I wish the dopest shit happened. And then if the dopest shit doesn't happen, to be like, all right, well, maybe next time. You know what I mean? Is that okay? Or am I just living in some fucking bizarro world crazy town place where that's not okay? Answer. Maybe both. Shut your mouth. And get over it. You know? Like, yeah, old man Steve should have showed up and slapped all of them boys up. He should have. 100%. 100%. He should have taken every character in the show, especially Carly, who, like, what is you doing, Carly? For real. Someone explain it to me quickly in the DMs or something so that I don't sound completely ignorant when I talk about how the flag smashers make no sense to me. Okay, so we'll get there in a second. But Steve should have came in and turned every character over on his knee and gave him a spanking. Because it's Big Daddy Steve Rogers. You want to know why people want Luke Skywalker to pop up in The Mandalorian and why when they did it, motherfuckers cried? Because it's what, as a fan, you just naturally want to see, dude. You know what I'm saying? Of course I want Steve to show up in the show. Every Marvel fan has that in them. Capisci? Is what I'm saying making sense? Is this thing on? Hello? Hello, are you out there? Hello? Hello? So anyway, let's talk about this Skrull chick lady that showed up. So it's generally in the context of what I thought would be happening in the show. Okay? Generally within the context. I was told it was connected to John, was told it was a lady. I was told it was not a blonde lady. I should have listened to that person. And then I got told by somebody else that it was Uma Thurman. Freaking conspiracy ass liar Marvel motherfuckers trying to make me look dumb. Anyway. It ended up being Julie Dreyfus, who was most famous for playing Elaine. And Elaine played some character that was super obscure. Okay? Super obscure. Here, let me try to pull this up. And frankly, I think she might be playing a character that's actually a combo character. Like a new interpretation of a couple of different characters. Okay? So, this is Valentina Allegra di Forte. Created by Jim Steranko. You hear that, Disney? Created by Jim Steranko. Anyway, is a fictional espionage agent in American comic books published by Marvel Comics, created by writer-artist Jim Steranko. She first appeared in the Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. feature in Strange Tales number 159 in August of 1967. Forte made her debut in Marvel Comics University in Disney Plus live-action TV series Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Damn, you're fast. The Contessa appeared prominently throughout creator Jim Steranko's run of Nick Fury and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a feature that ran through Strange Tales 168, and in the same name comic book series that began the following month. An agent who literally threw S.H.I.E.L.D. chief Nick Fury for a loop upon their initial meeting, she quickly became his love interest and was featured in a silent one-page seduction sequence in Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 2, that famously had 2 panels changed at the behest of the Comics Code Authority. Jim Steranko was trying to... Anyway, in the third to last panel, de facto Marvel art director John Romita Sr. redrew a telephone that had been taken off the hook for privacy, placing the receiver back on the cradle, and the last panel of the image was removed and replaced with a close-up of the item. It was too phallic. It's too phallic. It looked too much like a, dare I say, boner. So one panel, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about her actual biography. That is pretty interesting, though. So, the Contessa Valentina Allegra di Forte was a member of the European jet set and citizen of Italy. After both of her parents were killed for avoiding some unspecified resistance movement flag smashers, the Contessa found her life meaningless, desiring to carry on in their place so their deaths would not be in vain. She eventually was contacted by the international espionage agency S.H.I.E.L.D. She entered the training program. She first encountered its executive director, Nick Fury, aboard the S.H.I.E.L.D.'s airborne headquarters of the helicarrier. Toward the end of training, impressed Fury by tossing him head over heels with a judo throw. Nice. Judo throws are a way to a man's heart. As a result of the Contessa's remarkable talents and skills in many areas, she quickly became a leading member of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was also at one point appointed the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Femi Force. Interesting. At one point, she approached Amanda Armstrong, where she was informed that her late father was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. She accepted Valentina's offer, using her brand for cover-up of her double life. Now, here's what's interesting. During the events of Secret Invasion, it is revealed shortly after the Secret War, a Skrull agent posed as Contessa de la Fortuna in order to spy on Nick Fury and learn as many secrets as possible. However, Fury grew suspicious and killed the agent, who then reverted into her true shape, thus revealing the invasion to Fury. After the death of Captain America, a second imposter posing as the Contessa approached Dum Dum Dugan with the intent of learning the location of Fury, whom the Skrulls were seeking. After he reveals he doesn't know, the imposter stabs Dugan with claws resembling those of the X-Man Wolverine. After Dugan's body is thrown up into the ocean, the imposter takes his place. That is the opening, as far as I remember, the opening to the main Secret Invasion comic book run is that scene with Dugan. I think it's on a boat. He's like, he lives in on a boat or something, maybe. Man, that scene is real cool. So, that is very likely the character that we saw last night. However, I also want to talk about this character, Valerie Cooper. Can you guys see this? Make sure you guys can see this. Valerie Cooper. Let's talk about Valerie. Dr. Valerie Cooper, a special assistant to the president's national security advisor, was perhaps the most important figure in the United States government's ongoing efforts to cope with the growing number of superheroes being in the nation. Dr. Cooper's primary concern was the danger that she believed superhuman mutants posed to the United States. Little mutant action. Cooper recognized that superhuman mutants were emerging throughout the world, and that both governments and private interests had begun to exploit their abilities. She believed that superhuman mutants in the employment of unfriendly powers could wreak havoc on the national security of the United States. Hence, she wanted the United States government to be able to protect itself against superhuman mutants and to strike back against them if necessary. She saw the United States as engaged in the equivalent of an arms race with other nations to find and develop an effective corps of superhuman mutants of its own before they do. Furthermore, Dr. Cooper disapproved of the activities of the superhuman crime fighters who did not have the approval of the United States government. So, here's kind of an interesting aspect of this Cooper character. She was involved in the Commission's demand of ownership over the identity and property of Captain America. She supervised the recruitment and training of the 5th Captain America, known as U.S. Agent, and his partner, Battlestar. Ultimately, the former Captain America revealed this to be a plot by his arch enemy, the Red Skull, and he was reinstated as Captain America. Okay. Valerie Cooper is also involved in creating the Redeemers, and the Redeemers, I believe, lead to the formation of the Thunderbolts. I just want to read this real quick. This is actually just for my edification, and then we will speculate, okay? All 4 characters apparently killed by Scourge had survived in some form. The robotic techno had recovered from Jolt's body and used her electric powers to resurrect from the dead, blah, 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 blah. The Thunderbolts were upset with Hawkeye. All this happened. Val Cooper had gathered her own army of heroes she renamed the Redeemers. This team included the new Citizen V, the Fixer, the original Norman Techno, Thunderbolt, Blackmail, Thunderbolt, Pardon. Interesting. So there's like a lot of really cool stuff that both of these characters have been involved with. Okay, so frankly, we don't know for sure, right? But the fact that she's connected... Oh, we're going to get gray boxed, aren't we? Great. So the fact that she's connected... Her actual name is connected to the Countess, right? Is very, very interesting. But Marvel doesn't always just adapt straight from the comics. In fact, many of the characters that are in the MCU are hybrids of multiple characters, new takes on characters. You know what I mean? They do this quite a bit. And so I think it could actually be a combination of both of those characters. But the thing that impresses me the most, or rather interests me the most, is what I think is obviously the through line to set her up as a Skrull and to set up Secret Invasion. Now, part of the reason I think this is because I think paranoia on the planet is like good for the Skrulls. I think if the Skrulls are trying to weaken Earth's defenses, they would want us to be paranoid, fighting against each other, struggling for power, doing all sorts of crazy stuff, right? And if Sharon is also a Skrull, then it's possible that, like, the Skrulls they're sort of all over the place and just trying to cause chaos. You know what I mean? I definitely think that it would be a very Kevin Feige thing to sort of combine Secret Invasion with a lot of the stuff that happens, like leading up to Siege and Dark Reign and Norman Osborn. Because that's exactly what happens in the comics. It's all kind of rolling together. He might do it a little bit differently. But I do think we could be leading to a place where Norman Osborn, who I do think is still on the table for Feige, will shoot the Skrull Queen in the face. And then get control of everything. And John Walker may become Captain America again. For the Dark Avengers. Or for whatever. You know, in the future. That would be pretty freaking cool. Now, at the end of the episode, in the post-credit scene, we see that John is making his own shield. Obviously, I don't think he's got vibranium. But you know who might? Is friggin' Sam Wilson. His Falcon wings, I expect now to be made of vibranium. We've seen the toys, Marvel. We know he gets the dope-ass red, white, and blue Falcon Captain America suit. We already know. Why didn't you just show us in that episode? It's super frustrating. This isn't fucking Pulp Fiction. Just show us what's in the case. But having said that, yeah, that's going to be dope, and I think he's going to get vibranium. But John Walker's not. That's a Walmart. That's a knockoff Walmart Captain America shield. Now, he might still do some work with it, which would be cool. But that's going to end up being just the U.S. Agent shield or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a Captain America shield. But I think it solidifies that John has a lot more to do in the MCU, which is terrific because, frankly, Wyatt Russell is killing it, son. Killing it. That scene with the parents and John, oh my. And Mom brought it in that scene. I'll tell you, Mom carries that scene, but John, yeah, that was a good scene, man. That was a good scene. So, that's where I'm at with it. Really, really liked the episode. Really excited to see the finale. I'd be lying if I said that I do think Marvel did themselves a disservice by going 5 hours in with the pacing they currently have. Like this, I would have done this like episode 3. You know what I mean? But I get it. You know what I mean? Like slow burn, you know, we get to it. It's fine. I would have had this as episode 3, personally. And then done a lot of action. Frankly, hopefully, this last episode is just like an MCU movie. Because otherwise, I really don't understand the budget. That's the one thing is that I don't understand is that I feel in many ways confused. And that I feel in many ways that I was set up for a different kind of show. You know what I mean? I like the show, but I am still pretty confused. You know what I mean? $70 million for episode 6. What? That would be nuts. Okay, so now, ladies and gentle beings, let us get into Q&A. Okay, so we'll get into Q&A. We'll talk about what you guys want to talk about. I got to pull up all the super chats, so give me a second here. If you do have a little loot and you want to get your question answered, I'll go over every single super chat that comes in within reason. If you don't have any loot, please do not worry about it. Slap a like on the vid. Tell your grandma to slap a like on the vid, and then we're all good. Many ways to support. Times is hard. If you don't have the loot, it's all good. Oh, man. I still feel like my brain is not fully operating, too. That's the other thing about this show, or these shows, is that it's like, man, when we stay up super late, when we destroy our lives a little bit for these shows. I think it's fair to have expectations. Rogue Soul says, hi, Josh. Hi, Elisa. What's up, Rogue Soul? Oh, wait. Did I just miss your thing? No, that's from last night. What's up, Rogue Soul? Good to see you, brother. Brendan Blinkard says, who was that lady? Well, we just talked about it a little bit. I hope you were still in here, Brendan. Sorry. I know a lot of people are saying, like, Madam Hydra. Nah. I want Viper to be Madam Hydra. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're going that way. But, Mike Motherflippin' Porter says, Mike Porter program. Step 1, show Josh some love. Thank you, Mike. Very much appreciated. And I'm feeling the love tonight. Slow-mo says, no flags were harmed in this episode. Okay, now let me take just one moment to say how much I think the Flag Smashers suck. I think the Flag Smashers suck. I think they're the weakest part of the show. In this episode, that scene in the park made me want to punch myself in the face. I was like, what is this scene? There are so many logical fallacies in that scene that I'm just like, whatever, dude. I don't even want to go there. Honestly, I don't even think it's the actor's fault. I think they had a totally different storyline that was gutted, and then they were like, well, we'll just make you a platitude now. That's the safe play, is just for you to just, how many people are going to die before this? It's like, so, whatever. According to the Sokovian, says, Turkish Delight. Irresistible. Indeed, my friend. Big Stevie with the $15 holla says, happy second shot Friday, everyone. Doge to the moon. Take my Doge money. Yeah, so Doge is having an incredible ride. Crypto's having an incredible ride. I don't want to be that guy. But several months ago when we were never mind. You know what I'm getting at. You know what I'm getting at. The point is, I think the world is changing. I think cool things are happening, and I am committed to making sure the Den of Nerds is integrating and embracing these new changes. Augmented reality, virtual reality, all of that built on a decentralized application using a crypto technology, perhaps even using nodes to drive information and create value storage, and also create an inner working AR, VR world connected to cryptocurrency. Mind-blowing stuff. Mind-blowing stuff. I'm quite excited for the future of what we have going on. And it seems like when we do get there, Stevie is going to have one of the penthouse rooms in the tower. Dooley76 with the $10 holler says, loved episode 5. Finale time. Let's go. That's true. And Doge to the moon. Take my Doge money. Appreciate the love. Let me just say, too, totally going to get so excited for the finale. I'm going to get so jacked up for this finale. This finale, I might even dress up. I'm going to be a fan. What am I going to do? I'm going to get super hyped up about episode 5. Let's go. It's still possible old man Steve Rogers shows up. I think he should. Let's go. Velocity ATA Martial Arts with the $10 holler says, do you think the Wakandans upgraded Sam's suit so he doesn't need the serum to compete with super-powered people? Wow, would that be fantastic. I mean, frankly, I would tell you that just having a vibranium anything, like, already puts you, like, basically, like, just having vibranium in general would put you up a couple of notches, like, in a power ranking sort of scale for me personally. But I actually love the idea that you have about it being more than that, and even taking elements of like the thing that T'Challa's suit did, or like if Shuri's doing it, like Shuri's pretty wicked smart, right? So she could be maybe making the Falcon suit have some kind of functionality that would be able to help him out in some situations with very powerful people. I love it, dude. I love it. Chris19 says, anybody else get Lethal Weapon vibes from Bucky and Sam? A little bit. Not really. I wish I got more of that. That's part of my problem with the show. You know what I mean? I wish Mo. I want Mo. Connor Murphy says, Batroc, hired by Power Broker, through Sharon to pretend he is helping Flag Smashers, but will turn on Carly. says he is there to kill the Falcon, so she trusts. Interesting theory, Connor. I think that Sharon is a Skrull, and she is trying to kill Falcon. You know what I mean? But hey, cool. And I get what you're saying. Very interesting intrigue in the show. That's for damn sure. The second player says, we need more squirrel suits. 9 out of 10 episode. Yeah, man. More squirrel suits for sure. Like 30 of them. Like falling out like a friggin' accordion. That would have made those shots so much better when they goofily went off and accelerated somehow away from a fucking helicopter. What would have made that make more sense is if they just like fell like a house of cards and just like a million of those squirrel suit people just came out, because at that point just abandoned logic completely. I know you're kidding though, but I'm glad that you liked the episode. Blue Ray says he's not sorry. Believe that. Raymond Hubbard says, for the $5 hauler, Malcolm said that the Cameo was a recognizable character and actress, and Contessa, the way less known Madam Hydra, showed up and not Viper. That is an interesting take. I don't think Malcolm actually said that though, man. I'm going to be honest. I've been pretty on this. I do not think that's what he said. I'll look into it. I don't think that's what he said. I personally prefer Viper. I actually don't think that's Madam Hydra. I know people are saying that. I refuse to believe it. Machine Gun Carter, the $5 holo, says, I'm with you, Josh. We should not stop hyping up and theorizing. Maybe Marvel watchers are watching, and they will know better what we expect. Yeah, I mean, frankly, maybe even it's not that deep, though. You know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying, and in a way, like, yeah, we should be able to express our opinions freely, and if Marvel was fucking smart, they would just go out there and listen. I agree with that. But maybe it's not even that deep, brother. This is supposed to be fun. As heavy as episode 5 was, and it was heavy. Comic books are supposed to be fun, dude. This is supposed to be fun. So Sam and everybody's going to figure all that ish out, and then they're start whooping some ass in episode 6 because it's comic books. Right? Or wrong? I guess we'll see. Hero There's Fire says, today is my birthday. I share it with Goku. He's Kakarot to me. But all right, brother. And happy birthday to you, for real. Happy birthday. Hope it's a good one for you. Barbaric Rimon says, so they kept saying Steve is gone. Do you think he is just not there, or is he dead? He's gone, but I don't think he's dead, no. I do not think he's dead. That's just me. Joaquin says, I don't know if you've heard anything, but supposedly the Flag Smashers' whole plot was rewrote. OG plot was something about a pandy. Too close last year. Yeah, no, we've talked about that at great length, actually. I think it's true. I think it's a shame, but I'm also not going to sit back and just say that it not working in the show is acceptable. Do you know what I mean? Like, isn't that okay? Like, it's like, oh man, yeah, no, this is why that thing happened, but it ain't working. You know what I mean? It's not working, dude. It doesn't work for me. I think that's all right. Flatbrush Zombie says, seeing John Walker corrupted by the serum makes me fanboy dream of Norman Osborn taking the serum in the MCU. It gives him a split personality, and that's how we get to the Green Goblin. I think you're onto something there, dude. I think you're onto something there. And the trauma that Norman has with his multiple personalities and his powers actually allow him to break through on a human level with some of the Thunderbolts and eventually Dark Avengers. So, that's cool, man. You know what I mean? That is cool. Patrick Ray says, good morning, NerdVengers. 2 days to the green badge. Take my money. Thank you so much, Patrick. I'm pumped that you're going to get your green badge for sure. I'm very excited, by the way, for the Saturday NerdVenger stream and, of course, the afternoon stream that I'm going to do with Alan Lavis. It's going to be dope. But for the NerdVengers members, we will do a private stream behind the scenes Saturday. I'm excited to talk some Nerd Coin. There may be some purchases made by some of you on Saturday. I've got some cool stuff coming. Daniel Fisher says, the cast performance was great in this episode, but Lumley took it for me. Take my money. Yo, he's amazing. I just want to see him whoop some ass. It's like, I said this. I was like, man, like, what a performance. Incredible, captivating, unbelievable. He's also a Mack truck of a man. Let him throw the shield around a little. Just a little. You know? There's still the primitive, friggin' savage side of me that just wants to see these dudes throw rocks at each other. I can't help it. I want to see more blood. I want to see more violence. Are you watching Invincible? All right, we got to have this talk. We're going to have this talk. We might have to do a whole fucking stream or video about this talk. Because the Invincible Falcon Winter Soldier comparison is real on multiple levels. Let me throw one at you that you might not have thought of. Robert Kirkman left Marvel in the 90s to pursue independent, to do stuff that he had complete control of, to make IP that, you know, if ever it were in a show, maybe the most popular show on the planet, he'd actually get his name on it and get a check cut, unlike Ed Brubaker. So what Robert Kirkman is currently doing is playing in a world of free artistic expression and creating incredible content. Marvel's doing something else. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not what Kirkman is doing. Capisci? But y'all ain't ready to have that conversation. Joshua Karn says, give me a sexy, sexy fellow Josh shout out, and I shall nerdvenge. Joshua Karns, shout out to you, you sexy motherfucker. Shout out to you. Good name. Let's see what else we got going on here. Sorry, I lost my place. Lewis says, what was George Lucas's beef with Mara Jade? I don't think there really was one. He just thought it was a little weird that Luke would get married. Gerald says, Mackie was on both 8 Mile and Real Steel. Damn, is that true? I'll have to go back and check him out in 8 Mile. That's interesting. According to Sokovian, says, Josh, yes or no on adopting Zemo persona? Krim. What do you mean adopting Zemo persona? What, for me or you? I think it's cool. Why not? You do, you know, you got a great accent. Is that what you're talking about, brother? I feel like maybe I'm missing some context. Rick O'Reilly says, Flag Smashers are global terrorists and they're just discussing their evil plans in some kind of a public park. LMA, what? Well, I guess it really wasn't a public park because all those people are Terminators? Bro, the Flag Smasher plot is so whack. I don't even want to talk about it. Billy Bourbon says, Newman is the power broker. That would be absolutely hilarious. Obi-Wan Dahomey says, love the performances last night, and I believed a lot of what is causing the MCU to be so bonkers right now is the lack of movies. Take my Doge money. Yes. Perhaps that is the case. I actually think the show, depending on episode 6, it'll be fine. Marvel just needs to recognize that, like, yeah, motherfuckers are going to be grumpy a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, we waited a year, and we basically just got 2 therapy shows. I like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. WandaVision didn't really, no. Let's not go there. But the point is, Marvel just needs to realize that, like, shit just is what it is. You can't, like, do stuff, and then if it doesn't slap, try to act like it does. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing a lot of shit from people that's like, oh, well, here's the weird way that I can spin the numbers to make it seem like Falcon and the Winter Soldier is very popular. That shit's whack, dude. Like, just let it be. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Maybe it's just a show that isn't hitting for everybody. Maybe because of things happening in the real world. You know what I mean? They cut out the virus plot because it hit too close to home. They left in an incredibly important and impactful racial plot. How is that not also too close to home with what's going on in the world currently? You know what I mean? For that fact, there could be people that actually completely agree and love and want to support these ideas that just simply don't want to watch a fictional show about it right now. You understand? There's a lot of things that could be going on right now, and I think it's quite frankly ridiculous for all of these people in the media that are trying to support Disney's sort of look. They don't want any dirt on the shoulder. That's absurd. Let it be. Let it be. I like the show. Other people don't. It's okay. Brett says, I think the new logo Walker put on his shield logo is the logo in memory of Lamar. Absolutely, man. Absolutely is. Rigo Reyes says, who are the criminals that the Flag Smashers are interacting with now? Brother, I really wish I could tell you. And also, what is this, like, floaty-ass, crazy music like that? What's going on? I feel like we've entered a totally different stream now. I feel like I was about to do... What? Chet. Niet. No. Play something else. Can't deal. I'm in too aggressive of a mood. I can't deal with Baywatch music. Okay. Jacob Montgomery says, Wings Plus cap suit will be vibranium. Calling it now. I think you are onto something there, and I think it's going to be freaking awesome. Slow-Mo says, how are you rating Feige's version of all new, all different Marvel? Way too early to tell so far. Way too early to tell. We haven't even seen the finale of this show. So. But I shall judge. Let's see here. According to Sokovian, it says, anti-hero equal best hero. I will carry this standard. I like that. And Zemo, not only in performance, but in writing, very impressive in the show. Second player says, I meant throughout the show, take my squirrel suit. Yeah, man. Get you. I get you. Let's see here. Andrew says, love your content, Josh. Did you see the new UFO video the Pentagon said was legit? I have not, but that sounds awesome. I, for one, welcome our new alien overlords. According to the Sokovian says, Loki working with Zemo would be complete. Comprehensive. It would, wouldn't it? I like that. Now I'm kind of hoping it happens, bro. That'd be dope. Connor Murphy with the $5 holla says, Bucky said he and Steve discussed giving the shield to Sam. So he's admitting he knew Steve was leaving, and that look in Endgame was because he knew. Yup. Absolutely, Connor. I mean, did we really doubt it at all, though? You know what I mean? Joshua Carnes, welcome to the NerdVengers. You are a NerdVenger now, my friend. There was another member that maybe I missed, huh? Sorry about that, guys. YouTube's being so whack with this stuff. All right, what's going on in the chat? What's up? Godfather says, that was a great cameo. No one expected Madam Bohner. Ooh. Madam Bohner's kind of doing it for me. Okay. 3 different ships captured in photos. Wow. Okay, that's dope. Josh, I loved how Bucky and Sam struggle to take off the shield, like the struggle to take the gauntlet off of Thanos. Yes, that is a great point, Andrew. Very astute of you. And yeah, I think that's a fantastic little callback. You know what I mean? A fantastic little callback. Fantastic. What's going on in the chat? What are y'all talking about? Sharon is a scroll. I'm calling it, says Nathan. I actually agree as well. I think that's a scroll. UFOs of Theseus. Well, you know, the UFOs are probably just seeing that Bitcoin's actually getting up to a respectable point, and they're like, all right, fuck it. Here we go. Let's get this Bitcoin, son. You know what I mean? Boner is John Walker. Oh, boy. Old man Chris Evans will finally return in 30, 40 years to play Old Man Steve without makeup. That's kind of fun. Why not? Josh, how have you been lately aside from all the craziness of the move? I've been good. There's a lot going on. Pushing forward on many different fronts. Feel very good, but also weary. Coley Woley says Carl Lumbly was also great in Dr. Sleep. What? I gotta watch Dr. Sleep now. I gotta watch Dr. Sleep. That just pushed me over the edge for Dr. Sleep. Notice in the opening fight the whole time, Bucky and Sam attacking the shield, not John. They were only trying to disarm him. He was trying to kill them. Yeah, man. Yep. Torres has to be the new Falcon, right? I wouldn't go that far, but he could perhaps step up to the plate and do something cool. Val is Black Widow? That's interesting. Clear as Mud says, Josh, how do I become a NerdVenger? So the NerdVenger is the membership that we do here. There's a $5 a month one. There is a $10 a month one. You get behind the scenes access to a bunch of content that we do, not live, members only content. You get off percentage off of our merchandise. You're going to start getting double your nerd coin every month. A lot of cool benefits to being a member here on the channel. We also give away a $200 GameStop gift card every month, but it's only to our members and it goes through our Discord. Right now, I think there's only like 100, definitely probably less than 150 people that do that each month. So if you are a member, go link your account to the Discord and get in there. It costs you nothing to link your Discord account, and you got a very decent shot at getting a $200 GameStop gift card every month. So we do a lot of fun things for the members. You got to either join via a button next to the subscribe button. If you're on mobile, I don't know, it's a fucking nightmare, honestly. And the watch parties. Yes, we do watch parties as well with the NerdVengers, yes. People who are triggered by this show need... People that are triggered need to prepare themselves because you know you're getting a Black Wolverine, right? I mean, that is a ridiculous-ass statement, dude. People don't need to do any shit that you say they need to do. Bad Batch in 19 Days also love your contact, bro. What? I'm sorry. I must be missing something here. Also, content, probably. Yeah. Eric Gaines, welcome to the NerdVengers. You are a NerdVenger now. JLD is listed in Black Widow. What? Well, then she's probably in Black Widow, but she's probably not Black Widow, right? Is that sort of what you're saying? I don't know. Is that what you're saying? Harris McGrady says, how about we get the guy who plays John Johns in Supergirl? Actually, that dude's awesome. I met him before. As the younger Isaiah Bradley in a miniseries. Dude, but Lumley can play a younger Bradley. They aged him up, though. That's another thing I don't fully get. Maybe they're going to do that in the Weapon Plus program show with Wolverine. You know what I mean? But yeah. No, that dude's awesome, though. That dude's awesome, Harris. Man, y'all are so into your feelings about this shit. It's really funny to me to watch people, like, react so harshly to people just not liking the show. Like, frankly, like a lot of you guys need help. You know what I mean? Like, I this is a fun show. You know what I mean? This is a performance, but y'all need a hug from your mom and a couple therapy sessions. People will freak out if the Flag Smashers raid the GRC in Episode 6, looking like the raid on the Capitol earlier this year. Writers could not have known what they wrote became too much of like reality. There's a lot of that might, like, it might just be a thing in the show. The show just might have to, like, live in that moment. Shit, man. Maybe some of this was totally, I mean, a lot of this was totally out of their control. But you can't, like, act like it's not happening. You know what I mean? It is what it is. For me, it ain't that deep. It's a fictional show. It's talking about some cool themes. Some cool shit happening for characters. I like it. But it ain't that deep, dog. Some of you guys are like, you need a hug. You need a hug, man. I like the show, but some of the writing in this episode was a bit too on the nose for me. Too many Hallmark moments. I think that's totally fair. I think that is totally fair. I don't need hugs. I'm a man, says bruh Dolphin. Yo, man. I'll give you a low-key hug, dog. You don't even got to tell your homies. You know what I mean? Bring it in. I'll give you a big old bear hug, and you don't even got to tell the homies. How about that? Nikki's like, I need a hug. Yeah. Lumbly is 69? No way. For real? Damn. Okay. All right. Then maybe we could cast that other gentleman, huh? That'd be kind of interesting. I need a hug. Just not from you, Reefer Man Reviews. Hey, that's all good, man. It's all good. Joshua, how do I feel about Dogecoin? I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Wish that I hadn't sold out of my initial invest because I thought my 700% return for thousands of dollars was incredible. I had no idea that that could have become what it is. I'm still exposed to Doge. I'm still very happy. My crypto is, crypto, getting into crypto around February, like early February, is going to prove to be one of the best decisions I've made. You know what I mean? But having said that, I have some buddies that have been like sort of dollar cost averaging Doge. So basically, like, I texted everybody I knew in February after the GME stuff. I was like, you need to get some crypto and you need to do it now. Now there's a moment, there's something happening, there's a swing happening. You know what I mean? And from that moment to where we are at now, I am super pumped that some of those people did do that. One of my friends has quite a bit of equity from Doge specifically, and I couldn't be happier for him. Fantastic. Love it. That's how I feel. I think the purpose of this show is to set up Sam up in terms of characterization as a new Cap while still acknowledging his difficulty with that. I think big stuff is, yeah, I agree with you, Andrew. I agree with you. And I'm actually liking, particularly how that was handled in this last episode. I thought it was great. Joshua Clarn says, Normie, theorizing with you, Al, and Lavis has been more than half of the fun of Marvel films. I appreciate that, my friend. And we're going to keep it going, man. We're going to keep it going. I'm a Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Loki fan. I'm a fan of magic used in the comics, so I didn't have any interest in Captain America and didn't expect to like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love this show. I think that's actually very fair because in some ways, my trouble with the show is because it was my most anticipated MCU Phase 4 project. I know in hindsight that feels really silly, but it's the truth. I told people for months, maybe even a year, that I thought this show would be a game changer, that I thought this show would bring us in to a new era of literally creating cinema-like content for a streaming service. I was way too hyped on this show. My expectations went way farther than they should have. And now I'm sort of in a place where I'm adjusting. There was a moment in episode 5 where it was pretty obvious we weren't really going to have an action-packed episode. And maybe just because that happened to me 4 other times, I was able to finally let it go and just accept the episode for what it was. But I also think that, kind of fuck that, because this actually just was incredible performances. So that part of my brain was silenced by the other part of my brain that was like, shut the fuck up, this is awesome. This is incredible. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know if that made sense, but I can tell you it was honest. JJ Lemon says, hop on one of the YouTube fight cards and take Richtman out. LOL, JK, all love. Super into that episode. Yeah. I think Daniel and I are gonna be okay. Maybe it's not what I first thought it was. But if I do find out that people are lying to me or lying to people I know to try to make me look silly, oh man. I think you underestimate what the NerdVengers could do if they were so inclined. Eric Gain says, how do I link to Discord? Brother, when you get into the Discord, there's like a whole bunch of stuff that you got to do. I'm actually so boomerish, I couldn't even help you. But we have an incredible team of mods and people on that server that will help you. All you got to do is literally just chat it up on there and just be like, help! And someone will help you. For sure. For sure. Okay, what else is going on in the chat? Do you think Sharon will be Viper from the Secret Warriors? Maybe. Thoughts on the Raft and Zemo, Josh? I can't help but think that Zemo knows exactly what's going on, and Zemo actually expected the Dora Milaje. I can't help but think that he knows exactly what's going on. He expected the Dora Milaje, and he knows that they're taking him to the Raft. That's what I think. That's what I think. I like the fact that they showed that Sam was really going to work for the Cap mantle. Bro, 100%. Moss, 100%. Love what they're doing with Sam in the show. Again, could have used a couple ninja fights. Nothing wrong with a couple ninja fights. But I do love what's going on. Hydra is way more threatening than the Flag Smashers. Give me Grim Reaper and Red Skull back in charge. Gavin Cooley says, dude, you're not wrong, dude. Come on, man. Flag Smashers are lame. Lame. I'm sorry. Just my opinion. Worst part of the show. Josh, can I buy a belly rub with Nerd Coin tomorrow? Look, we'll talk about that. I don't know if I'm comfortable with belly rubs being up for purchase, but there's going to be some stuff that you can buy that will impact the streams. The streams. What was that post-credit scene, says Ricky? The post-credit scene was just simply to explain that John Walker's not done being Captain America. While we may be done with John, he is not done being Cap. And so we shall see. What does it mean? What does it mean? Nikki says, no more belly rubs, please. The fuck? LOL. Hey, look, man. The people want what the people want, Nikki. And frankly, it's okay to be a little strange. We love all the NerdVengers here. But yeah, you're probably not getting any more belly rubs, you weird-ass motherfuckers. Do you think Marvel is setting up Steve Rogers and Red Skull in the future? Maybe Red Skull, but I do not think... I think they're... No. No, Steve. No, Steve. Well, why can't I get what I want? LMAO. Uh-oh. See, this is what happens. Now we're going down into another... Now it's a rabbit hole. Now when we have, you know, the actual convention where we're all hanging out, it's going to be super awkward. You know what I mean? Like, we're all going to be in this thing. I already have to let Nikki go to the front of the line. I already have to give Nikki my literal one of my favorite shirts. And it's not good enough. It's not good enough for you, Nikki. It's never enough. Everybody just take. What about me? What about me? Anyway. Carl says, Zemo is where he wants to be. Isn't the Raft where Abomination is? And Abomination shows up on She-Hulk, right? I have not talked about that publicly. I cannot confirm or deny. Sounds like there will be a breakout. Let's go, Carl. It's a breakout on the Raft. We got to do... I'm going to do like a whole song about this. A whole... maybe dance piece. Moves. Music video. All of it. Yep. It's going to be a jailbreak on the Raft, baby. And I'm quite excited. Carl, thank you for the support, my friend. Thank you for the support. Isn't Red Skull on Vormir? Not anymore. Not anymore. And aren't we going into the multiverse? Who knows such things? Only the Oracle. Carlos Orozco. Orozco. Carlos, I'm the worst at pronouncing names. Should have just went for your first name. I'm new. What's up? Welcome. You're new, and you immediately realize how much I butcher everybody's names. It is not meant to be disrespectful. Red Skull is coming. Red Skull as the power broker. Yo, that would be sick. Dylan says, I love spending my mornings here. We love having you here, man. Hey, Josh, would you cast Tom Hanks? Who would I cast Tom Hanks as? Tom Hanks. Beast. Tom Hanks as Beast. Irvin Thomas says, kill my name. Okay. Irvine Thomas? Irvine Thomas? Welcome, Irvine. You look like Tony Stark impersonator. I personally look like comic book Peter Parker. We should join up for a team up. Let's go, Spidey. I'm into it. Oro. Zko. Orozco. I don't know, bro. Might be a lost cause over here. Think the MCU is going to overuse the scrolls? Because at this point, anyone can be one. I don't think they're going to overuse the scrolls. I'm actually concerned of the opposite of that, Nikki. I'm actually concerned that the new Secret Invasion will be like a weird Kree scroll thing. Like, no. I want them to really lean in to the fact that you can never really know who's a scroll or not. That shit's dope, man. Don't mess with the best part of the story. So I'm actually more concerned that they're going to do something weird, try to be too cute with it, and lose all of the fucking dopeness from the comics. Lawrence Skia says, still haven't gotten my name right yet. It's all good. Yeah, man, sorry. But you know what? Let me just say this, too. We're going to start doing more of on the Discord. There's a function called Stage Audio or something like that. It's a really cool thing. It's audio only. We can bring people onto the stage and talk to them directly. We're going to do a lot more of those moving forward. And if you can tell me your name to my face, so to speak, it's only audio, but you can literally tell me how to say your name. It's Shia with a K. Skia. See, but I can't even pronounce that. See, that's what you guys don't understand. It's like you're typing it. I was never hooked on phonics. You understand? That's why I can't pronounce. The problem is still there. We're not fixing the problem. You know what I mean? But, yeah. We'll figure it out. Josh, where was Spidey at? New York City and no Spidey canon? I know. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. Mika Quinn, welcome to the NerdVengers. You are a NerdVenger now. Welcome. The fight with Bucky, Falcon, and Walker was so dark and brutal. I'm excited to see what the MCU has in store for us in other projects. Me too, man. Me too. Loki's going to be dope. I think this next episode's going to be dope. When did Red Skull stop being the Herald, says Nikki Solo. So the word is, and this just comes from, I think, the Russo brothers, maybe the writers. But the word was, after the stone is returned, he is no longer held there as the Spectre. And I forget where that exactly comes from, but it's like there's a resolution that happens, and then he's no longer bound to Vormir, which is pretty cool, huh? Thunderbolt Ross wasn't on the raft. No, I don't think he was. Let us see here. Orange Grove 55 says Falcon Winter lacks interesting bad guys. They seem very generic, especially coming off of Agnes from WandaVision. They are the weakest part of the show. Again, not necessarily the actor's fault, not necessarily the writer's fault. If that storyline got gutted and they were working on a timeline, it makes sense. But that's the most charity that I can give. It just plainly isn't working for me in the final product that was released by a corporation to me as a consumer. You know what I'm saying? I can be charitable right up to a line. This is still a business transaction. Capisci? Rogue Soul says $5 so you can get hooked on phonics. Thought that was an essential for people our age, man. Yeah. Yes. You're absolutely right, Rogue Soul. You are absolutely right. The Raft breakout will lead to the new Avengers. I agree. I agree. Captain Britain at the end of the show. Woo! That'd be sick. Machine Gun Carter says, can't wait to see Red Hulk in episode 6. I'm so pumped. Hell yeah. Should we put Red Hulk on all of our thumbnails and shit? Should we start getting that Red Hulk hype? Little Red Hulk hype! Yeah, yeah. If I see Red Hulk do the Zemo dance, I'm going to forgive the boner. General Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk at the end of the show. They're all on the dance floor. And Red Hulk with his big fucking red hand is just like... And then Zemo's like... That's how you do a fucking show. Are you not entertained? Is that not why you are here? Can't wait. Alright, everybody. Gonna call it there. Do a breakdown video on the main channel later. Lots of cool content coming at you with regards to Marvel, with regards to all the nerdy things happening in the world. Much love to all of you. NerdVengers, Broke Vengers, visitors to the towers, lovers, haters, wherever you're at, man. Hope you're doing well. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Everybody left? Is everybody gone? And Rogue Soul, I saw your last super chat come in. It says, by that I mean it was just a huge thing in the time that we were growing up, and it's surprising. Yeah, never did Hooked on Phonics. Frankly, I have like a minor dyslexia kind of thing going on. And just always felt like that kind of stuff. Like, it's funny. I actually never took English 101 or 102 in college. I refused to. Probably should have done it. I'd probably be a better learner, speaker person if I knew all the rules. But in some ways, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. It's all colloquial. If you know what motherfuckers is saying, you good. Alright, everybody. Much love. See you soon.